Hello, America. We have some more questions for you tonight. I believe, just so you know going in, that this is probably the most controversial show of the week, because you must understand the last 3 episodes of this show to be able to see and come to a place to where you can believe that these crazy things may actually be happening. I want you to know, I hope these things are not happening. I hope that there is some other explanation. But I needed you to see who is advising the president earlier this week and what they're doing and who they are before I could ask you to look at this phrase from Barack Obama and think that the President of the United States literally means this.
We cannot continue to rely only on our military in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well funded.
I mean, I don't know how anybody's going to respond to the facts that I'm going to present tonight, because quite honestly, they haven't responded to any of the questions that we have posed on this show, or that we have even sent to them at the White House. Nor has anyone challenged any of the facts that we have presented in this show over the last couple of days, other than the White House has been very clear with us: don't call these people czars. Okay, okay, we got that one. But I can't make this piece of the puzzle fit unless this piece is about building some kind of thugocracy. All week we have been asking tough questions. Tonight, I would just love to hear the answers for these questions, and here are some. Mr. President, why do we need a civilian national security force that is just as strong, just as powerful as the military? Here's why I ask that question. Who are we fighting exactly? Who internally is threatening our security? It's clearly, I tried to piece this together. I've tried to come up with an answer. And please, America, if I'm missing it, please let me know. It's clearly not because we feel there is a threat from illegal aliens crossing the border. Nobody in the government, this administration or the last, has a problem with what's going on in the border. And anyone who would say that there has been a problem has been deemed a racist. A civilian national security force on the border is called the Minutemen. And the attitude from this administration, as well as the Bush administration, was that they were vigilantes. So it's not for the border. It can't be a national civilian national security force against Islamic extremists. I say this honestly, because according to this administration, we're not even at war against Islamic extremists anymore. Is this administration expecting us to believe that they're going to ask the American people to profile and call in tips on Muslim Americans who act suspiciously? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So who are the enemies that we need to have a civilian national security force to protect us from? Who are the enemies? Is it possible that we're seeing the beginnings of another enemy? One that we haven't discussed? Mr. President, is your civilian national security force to protect us from things that the Missouri State Police, your own Department of Homeland Security, and then you later retracted, and the liberal Southern Law Poverty Center have come out over and over and over again and said we're a threat? You know, militia groups, Tea Party goers, people with "Don't Tread on Me" flags. Me, I've been listed. Sarah Palin, oh, she's scary. Is that who it is? Think about this. Is it unreasonable today, with what you know and what you've learned from the last 3 nights, to think that this government would ask you to spy on your neighbors in light just of these recent stories? Flag.gov, email asking for tips on fishy behavior. They're adding cookies to your computer now, and they'll track whenever you've visited a government website. By the way, that used to be illegal, but they changed it, I believe, in the middle of the night on a Friday when nobody was watching. Now, the government is using outside companies to track and contact you. Are they gathering information on you? I don't know. I don't know why they didn't trust all of the dealers in the country with cash for clunkers. They didn't trust those guys, remember? They had a warning on there that if you click on it, that computer now is considered government property, and they could do whatever they wanted with the information. Well, I have to tell you, all of this stuff, all of it sounds like a sci-fi movie. If I would have told you that this was a movie, if I pitched this as a movie script, 2 years ago, you would say nobody would believe this. Well, I don't know what else to believe. I have to ask the reasonable question in these unreasonable times. If not these crazy things, well, then who will the civilian national security force protect us from? Maybe a better question is to ask this. Mr. President, do you know of a coming event? Could you fill us in? We will help protect the nation. If you know of it, tell us. Then again, maybe we should ask Joe Biden, because before the election, he said this.
Mark my words, it will not be 6 months before the world tests Barack Obama like they did John Kennedy. The world is looking. We're about to elect a brilliant 47-year-old president of the United States of America. Remember I said standing here, you don't remember anything else I said. Watch, we're going to have an international crisis, a generated crisis, to test the mettle of this guy.
It doesn't make sense, but is this civilian national security force just preparing for what Joe Biden predicted? If so, make the case, Mr. President. Because it doesn't make sense. Does it to you, America? Please. I want to be wrong on this. I don't want to believe these things. This is bad stuff. But give me another reason. Who builds an army against an unidentified, unrecognized, mysterious threat that doesn't exist?